Kia ora, a very warm welcome into the form and of course officially into the new season. So that means we're heading down to Riccarton for our first group race of the season. It is the 127th running of the Winter Cup. So to talk you through the action as usual, I've got Leith Innes joining me in studio, and we also have Aidan Rodley and Bevan Sweeney joining us from their respective studios. And here's what we're going to be chatting about. We'll start with the feature, the Riccarton preview, the 127th of course, a Winter Cup, and also having a look at the Open 1200, then heading to the Riccarton Jumps preview. We look forward to the likes of the Coral Steeplechase, the Racetrackers, our Ruakaka preview, it's Kerry Cup Day, and our best bets as usual to round out the show. Our feature is down at Riccarton, so as I say hello to you, Aidan Rodley, what are our weather and track conditions looking like this weekend?
Yeah, it's been fairly murky through the week down in Christchurch, so not ideal drying conditions, but this is one of the great tracks and one of the great carnivals of the winter. You can see it's a heavy 10, but the westerlies are easing. Hopefully we're in line for a fine day, and I hope so, because boy, we've got some terrific fields on a really good day's racing, Pip.
Oh, we absolutely do. As we take a look at the feature, it is the Winning Edge Presentations 127th Winter Cup, race 9 on the card, and it is headed by Balado Boy at 5.50, Master Marco at 6.50, Just Ask Me there at 8.50, and the LJ in the single figures at $9, along with Kevin Myers' other runner JBG. That's a look at the market. Let's take you back to the form, and Balado Boy, well, he's in brilliant form, of course, won it last year, Leith, and heading into it in pretty much the same vein.
Yeah, he certainly did, Pip. Last year he won carrying 53 kilos, so he's got to carry the top weight of 60 kilos. But Joe Dawes just got an amazing record with the horse. He's won 5 times out of 9 rides, and look, the riding was on the wall here. You could think he could really improve out of that run as well.
Hasn't he just been such a great winter performer? He's won 7 on heavy now, obviously won last year's race. He's won the metric mile, the AGC training stakes, and then a really good tough win under a big weight in the Opanaki Cup. He is carrying that 60 kilograms after 53 last year, so he's like got a 7 kilogram turnaround on horses such as Cork. Conor O'Kieran's got another big weight swing. Those horses running 2nd and 3rd last year, but he's just going so well, Bevan. You've got to respect him.
Well, his body of work through the last couple of winters is as good as any horse we've seen in recent times, really, with the big feature winter handicap victories. Look, I've always blown away with the price this horse pays. Look, he was $9.20 at Wanganui on the tote, $8.60 at Hawara, and he paid a big price in the Winter Cup last season. He's going really, really well. Of course, was it Nashville, last horse in recent times to carry a big weight and win the Winter Cup, and he was right up there as a Group 1 performer. So he does have history against him. Just Ask Me, I think, was clearly looking for 1,600 metres already, and he had to be hustled out of the gates at Hawara. I think he would be much better suited at New Plymouth. Bradman is clearly going well, but he just ploughs through the winter going, Balado Boy. So even with 60, he is going to be very, very tough to beat. 55 is a key weight in the Winter Cup, just looking through the records. And this is LJ now. I wasn't convinced he was going to win this day. However, Lily was looking for 100 and she'd missed in the previous. And I thought, well, maybe Kevin just lets her go with LJ. Now, this isn't a field that is going to frank up strongly against what he will face on Saturday, but he's back to the 1,600 metres where he really does have a decent sort of record, and I can see him being a major play here, Leith, at 1,600 metres, albeit coming back in trip.
Yeah, obviously the 55 kilos is really going to help him as well. Yeah, if you're on at 16s, you'll be clapping your hands a little bit. You would be shouting him on, Bevan. But look, Dummy Myers, you don't often see a horse win a 2-mile race, New Zealand Cup, and come back and win the New Zealand Cup. So I'd put my faith in Dummy, and Lily Sullivan's got a good record off the horse as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously we know the class is there. He handles a wet track. It is a little bit of a concern about him dropping back in distance, but you just put your faith in Kevin Myers. There's no two ways about it. He's got to be a contender in this race. Another CD horse who's going really well is Conor O'Kieran. I know we've got to look over that last start defeat in the Oamaru Cup, but prior to that he was very good at Te Rapa. I think we get a really good guide on Freeze Frame here as well, who is only a nose away. They meet similar weights again. There's no advantage one horse to the other, but both of these horses are going okay. Conor O'Kieran did run 3rd in this race last year, and Freeze Frame coming into this race beautifully too.
Yeah, Freeze Frame gets in with the perfect weight, 53 kilos. Warren Kennedy's gone down to ride him this week as well. And look, Conor Kieran, I just put a line for that last run, 60 kilos, probably ridden a little bit handy on the speed, and it was a sort of sweeper's day. He's probably caught up in the worst part of the track as well. So, look, both of those horses have been stable down there for a long time, so they didn't have the travel bug either.
Yeah, there are a couple of really good lightweight chances, but I think there are many. Connor's going well. Freeze Frame really hit the line nicely there. Look, there's a couple of other horses here. Master Marco was amazing at his most recent run at Oamaru. And fresh up JBG for Adrian Bull. Kelly Myers is down to ride again as she was at its most recent start. Now, 19 might be, on the face of things, a terrible draw, but I don't think it'll be terrible on Saturday. Pretty consistent, tough 7-year-old now who's won 5 of 19, so he's got a pretty good record. A couple of wins at Riccarton, 5 of 8 on winter track conditions. If he's there at the 200 metre mark, Leith, pretty sure he'll be there right at the finishing line.
Yes, definitely his biggest test to date, but look, he's hard fit now as well, and he's got a liking for that Riccarton track as well, and so the heavy 10's going to really suit him this week.
One thing about that race that we've just seen on video, it was a sit sprint and he was just in the right space, in the right place. Obviously it rated really well, but yeah, he was just thrown in just the way that the race was run. He's since gone to the trials and beaten home LJ in the last sort of 10 days or so. And yeah, like Bevan said earlier on, Naturals won this race in these colours as well. So the draw's a little bit tricky as well. I'm not hot and cold on him, just lukewarm, but he's a bona fide chance in this year's race.
Absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of chances. So let's see if we can get a guide from our trainers. We'll start firstly with Sam Burgesson, and Aidan just asked him how Freeze Frame has travelled down.
He arrived early last week, so he's had plenty of time to settle in. Hunter and the team are really pleased with him. He's been straightforward since he's been down there. He's eaten well. And his work's been good, and he's settled into the routine seamlessly. So, you know, he's ticking the boxes at this stage. Obviously, he's coming up against a good field on Saturday, some hardy winter gallopers, Bellardo Boy and the likes. So he needs to step up, but he's in good form.
I think we're pretty much spot on for a big run. She only has to run up to how she was last year, and you know, there's a couple with a little bit more weight than what she's got this year. So I think she's really nicely weighted down there. And yeah, I think she's spot on to where we need to be. I'm hoping that it will rain. Obviously last year we got quite a good track, and once again she went through that flat spot and rattled home. So we haven't seen her on a wet track for quite a while, and when we have, she's won. So fingers crossed we get a bit of rain.
There's a little bit of moisture around at the moment, that's for sure. Well, Aidan, who's your selection in the Winter Cup?
I have gone for Freeze Frame on top, but I found it very hard. I think it's so even. You know, there's some terrific horses coming into this in great form. You even spoke about Master Marco. Lord Darcy won this race a couple of years ago. Taramia Ladd's a good lightweight chance who was running home nicely last time out. I think we've spoken about the main chances, and there's not a lot over them. But in the end, I'm just liking the fact that Freeze Frame's getting to a lovely weight, and he's a proven heavy track runner with not a busy schedule. I think he's coming into this beautifully.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the old horse, Ned. Just ask me. Look, last year he had 61 kilos. He ran fourth in the race. I thought his race at Hara was really good. I know Bellardo Boy, he had 3.5 kilos swing this time round as well. So, look, I think if Just Ask Me is going to get a win, it's going to be this week in Winter Cup. Yeah,
I spoke to Alan about that, and he said, well, if I'm ever going to beat him, it will be on Saturday with the 56.5. I think you know where I'm going. I'm going with LJ. There's been a lot of mucking around behind the scenes to get to a major race. He won last start. He gets him with 55 kilos, so the program has been set to get him in at the right weight, and I'm going with LJ, who's boosted out to $11 pip with the boost available across that Riccarton program.
Yeah, really nice price there. So there you go. The guys are all split in the Winter Cup as we now move on to our next race. This is the Christchurch Casino 29th South Island Awards on the 13th of September. The opener over the 1200 where Epi Beale heads the betting at $2.10, Midnight Runners at $5, and then you've got Street Fighting Man on that third line of betting at $6 along with the Good Shepherd. Let's go back to Epi Beale, and this was really nice. Obviously rating 75 company Leith, but one with around 57 kilos.
Yeah, she was fresh up as well, Pip, and I know Warren Kennedy was really taken how she hit the line, and he thought there was a lot of natural improvement in her as well. So look, a little bit of a question mark, that heavy 10 track. She's sort of just I'm not too sure if it's going to be too heavy, but it's a small field. It's early in the day. Warren gets on. She's only got 54 kilos, and like going in her last win, she looks awfully hard to beat.
Well, I've got to agree with you. I thought the win back in sort of mid-April in listed company was very, very good as well, and she really had to tough it out that day to beat Nafidi, who's a reasonable horse coming out of the Sean Ritchie stable from memory. And then you see a performance where she sat back 3 wide, pounced and was too good there in a rating 75. So clearly going very, very strongly. She's a horse that's got a fair bit of upside this season, I think. So with 54 kilos against maybe the other favoured chance, but not Runner, who's going to have to carry 58, I really do like Epi Beale as a major player in that particular race.
Yeah, I understand, boys, and obviously she is class. You know, she's won that New Zealand Bloodstock Insurance Stakes at listed level already. It was a really good return. She comes in nicely. You know, her sectionals in that race were terrific. Quickest last 800, 600, 400 of the race, and she's got the class factor for sure. The one concern there is, and I think Leith touched on it, is just getting to a heavy track second up. Those heavy tracks are tiring when you can come out and produce a performance like that. When she really has had to put an effort on the table, they'll, you know, just it's how she's come through the race, and that's got to be the concern, especially when you're up against some really hard, tough old warriors such as Midnight Runner, who had won here at Riccarton a couple of starts back with a super performance, and then last time out at Oamaru, this is a really good run. Obviously, we've seen some pretty good performances here. Natural Momentum's win was first rate, but look at the closing stages here from Midnight Runner, who does really close off nicely. Another handy effort from Street Fighting Man, who's going really nicely too.
Yeah, Midnight Runner, he's a grand old horse. He's a 10-year-old gelding now, and previously, you know, I think in his early stage of his career was trained by Peter and Dawn Williams. So, look, he's only had the one win at Christchurch at the Riccarton tracks out of 10 starts. So, look, he's going super well, and he gets the 3 kilo claim off his back as well.
Good, tough old horse, isn't he? He carried 59 last time. He'll carry 59 again on Saturday. So hard to see him not being competitive, but I just can't really go past Epi Beale, who does have a good heavy track record. The one win at Riccarton was clearly a very strong effort and good company. Outside of that, Street Fighter Man's going nice enough, I think, to be competitive again and gets him with the 54 kilos on Saturday. But it'll be a Pittman winner for me in the 4.
Yeah, I like Epi Beale. I think it's a bonus being race 4. Warren Kennedy on 54 kilos. Midnight Runner, he's going to be leading the marple outside the leader in the small field, but I think Epi Beale will be going very close on Saturday.
It's a really messy map for this race, for sure. Yeah, like you say, Leith, there is a concern about that Riccarton record, but the most recent performance at Riccarton was a winning one. So I think that really dispels that. Good, tough horse, not going up in weight, heavy track. I'm going to go with Midnight Runner to win this.
There you go, that's what the guys are liking. That's a look at our 2 features. And as Bevan's already mentioned, there's the odds surge available on each and every race out of Riccarton too. So get involved with whatever you like. Our feature, race number 9 on the program, gets underway 3:45, trackside 1, Saturday. We continue on with Riccarton, but this time we turn our attention to the jumps racing, and we'll start with race number 2. This is the Avon City Ford Sydenham Hurdles. Bury the Cash, your favourite, $1.50. Invisible Spirit at $4.60, and only one other runner who has been specced in the market, Run Jacko Run, at $8. Let's take you back to Bury the Cash, and Bevan, boy, he's in great form. Not only winning here, but of course winning on the flat last start. Yeah,
if you're live in the quaddy going to the last league, it wasn't great to see him win, but they played him strongly. He jumped really averagely this day, pretty much the whole way through. And seeing him post the race, he was a pretty tired rooster. So Mark's actually taken both of them out of the next big jumping feature. But hey, Mark's a genius. And what he did on the flat the other day was pretty good against a couple of reasonable sort of 65 or 75 stayers. And he beat him up from last on that occasion. So I'm not going to doubt him even with 73 kilos.
No, he's certainly a happy horse, and what he done on Sunday at Waverley was amazing. He's pretty short on the tote as well, but he won easy. You'd think there'd be natural improvement. And look, Portia Mash, she's got a great record on the horse. She's won all his races. She's never been unplaced, but won in the Wellington Hurdles where she fell off at the third fence.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how Bevan left this horse out of the quad. It's a $3.40 pop swing. So what are you doing?
Oh, well, it was the fourth meeting of the week 8 and last race on the program. I'd pretty much run out of steam by that stage. I will say, I think I had most apart from maybe one. He won, just the way it goes.
For mine, the biggest concern with Bury the Cash is that big weight. He ran third in this race last year. Actually chased home Obrigado, who's race rival, here again this week. But it is 7 kilograms more than the rest of this field. And this is a carnival where we see those up-and-comers, like Bury the Cash was the up-and-comer this time last year. He's gone on to win Awapuni, Waikato and Hawke's Bay hurdles. And he's established himself at the top of the hurdle pecking order. But there's some really nice horses coming out of the Myers stable that are emerging quality jumpers, and here's one of them, Invisible Spirit. I thought was terrific last time in running second at Trentham, in behind Edwin in the Wellington hurdles, and behind you've got Lord Spencer running into 6th position, and Matalo's actually gone an okay race for 5th. But this is a really good performance from a horse who just seems to be finding the form at the right time and hitting the right carnival. I think you can say that about a lot of the Myers team here.
Obviously, Dummy's fresh off those first 5 races at Waverley as well. And look, Nedwin was just going by perfect timed ride as well. There is a little bit of riding on the wall, and yeah, just look, I think if there is a threat to Bury the Cash, it's definitely him.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because you've got Nedwin carrying 73 in that race, and he was still too good. And then you've got another horse who's probably franking up against Nedwin, carrying 73 against him, again with the 66 kilos. He is going very strongly. I can tell you, talking to Tom around at the racing desk this morning, that the one that backed out of the stable is actually Run Jacko Run, who was the last start winner at Waverley. So there's a bit about this particular race. It's always hard to go against a champion, so I'll stick with Bury the Cash. What did on the flat amazed me on Sunday, actually, and look, they tell me the market was really, really solid on him, so someone knew, and they got the result on Bury the Cash, who's now won 8, and he's just been so good at the back end of last preparation into this one. Can't go without him.
Yeah, I'm with Bury the Cash. I know the 73 kilos is a pretty tough ask, but like Portia Mesher, she's had 10 rides for 6 wins and 3 placings, so look, I think she'll be making it 7 and doing the double.
Geez, I'm going to be the contrary one today, guys. I'm going with Invisible Spirit. I didn't think there was much between this horse and Run Jacko Run, actually, and then I had Bury the Cash next best. I think this is a carnival for the up-and-comers, and I think that Bury the Cash will be peaking for the hurdle on the last day. So for that reason, I'm just going to play against him on this one.
There you go, maybe take a same race multi with both of those selections. As we move on to our other feature, of course, over the jumps. And this is the Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge Coral Steeplechase, headed in the betting. No surprise by West Coast at $1.60. And you've got Captain's Run at $6 and Old Jock, the only other jumper in single figures, at $6.50. Let's go back to West Coast. What did you make of his performance here, Leith, for second?
Yeah, look, it was a good run. Look, he's beaten by a really good jumper as well in front of him. He won the National Northern as well, so I think there's a little bit of improvement out of him. You know what Mark Holligan does. He sets these horses for these better steeplechase races, and look, Sean Fannon's got a good record on him as well. He's won, look, he's had 14 rides for 9 wins and 5 placings.
Well, he's a champion, isn't he? Look, I think he pulled up a little bit average post this. It was a massively tough effort. It was a wonderful disturb jumping from both of those particular horses. So again, he's missed a run in between times to head down south. Look, he's done it before, 73 kilos. Sean Fannin bought him. He knows Riccarton well. He's won 3 from 4 there. There are some nice up-and-comers. CG Ellsred Zeb was very good at his most recent effort. Captain's Run, a nice horse for Dan O'Leary, and Country Bumpkin. Not sure if he's even going to get there as we come to you, Aidan, because I think there's still a little bit of a delay as we record this about horses getting down there.
Yeah, I spoke to Noel Quinn this morning. They've got a 4:30 crossing this afternoon, both his stable and Kevin Myers' stable. So really important we get those 2 stables horses down to the meeting. Noel was saying if he couldn't get his horses across at 4:30, then he probably wouldn't be going down. Geez, I hope that's not the case with Kevin Myers. Let's hope they do get across safely. On West Coast, he is a champion. There's just no question about that. He's had 12 steeplechases, won 8 of them, and they've been in the big ones. A couple of Grand Nationals, a Great Northern last year, including that double, and all the big ones in between the Wellington steeples and what have you. The one thing is, surely the weight starts catching up on you. 73 kilograms isn't easy. He's got to do that every single time. His record at Riccarton is 4 starts with 3 wins and a minor placing. He was a minor placing in this race last year when he was just plain, and it did put into, he was $1.30 pop too. So, you know, hopefully we can see that the real West Coast, and he jumps really well, and he puts his name into the hat when we want to see him winning, which is the Grand National Steeplechase next week. Not to say he can't win this, and he is my top selection. However, let's get you to the Wellington Steeples. Old Jock was terrific here. This was some sort of race because the Cossack is another star, and the Old Jock gets awfully close, and after all this time was very good as well. On this performance, he's another one of those up-and-comers on the minimum weight, Leith.
Yeah, look, he won the hurdle race here last year after all this time. So, look, he's won on the course. Old Jock's a marvellous horse. He's tiny. You see him live, and he's barely 15 hands. So, look, he's going really well at the moment, and be good for the prizemen to go down there and get some prize money.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit closer because the rider might have set up on the Cossack, and I think if the Cossack he'd been under a little bit of duress, he would have found again. Look, he carried 73 to beat Old Jock, who got West Coast carrying 73. We saw what happened last time they sort of met. So, personally, as I said in the previous jumps race, I'll go with West Coast as the one to beat under Sean Fennon. There is a hint of caution. I think Aidan highlighted the relevant fact that this is leading somewhere else. So he may just be continuing on the upward plane, but he gave him a run in between times at Waverley, so you wouldn't think his fitness is far away. So West Coast, from me, big improver in the race, maybe captain's run to maybe give it a shake.
Yeah, I'm off West Coast. I know he's got the 73 kilos, but look, if he wins this week, he can't go up any more next week, so he's got the maximum 73. So, look, they'll be trying this week, and I think he will win both the doubles, actually.
Wouldn't it be great? He's just been such a super horse, and he is an absolute star of the jump scene, and just at a time when jumping needs him to be. So, yeah, undoubtedly it's a horse to beat. I've got him on top, but as Bevan said, Captain's Run, who was so close to him in the Great Northern, he's a chance. So is Old Jock, and so is Hey Happy. So, yep, West Coast, but not a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a spectacle either way, so make sure you're tuning in. That completes our look at Riccarton. Gets underway nice and early, just past 11 a.m. Saturday. It's time for our race trackers. So, Leith, as usual, we start with you, and you've found one for us on the synthetic.
Yeah, I'm going to Boss Moss, a horse trained by Chris Woods, and look, he was having his 3rd run on the poly, so it qualifies him for a $100,000 race on the 9th of August at Palmerston North over 1400 pip, and look, it was really good 2 starts before this, and look, in this race here, he was pretty soft late. He's come home in 33.8. And look, he was a maiden running in a rating 60 race as well. So I think there's a bit to like about the horse, and just keep an eye on him. Yeah, August the 9th, Palmerston North.
I'm going to take you back to Otaki. Jimmy Chung had a great day. This is the one that went pear-shaped and harmonious. He got drifted right back to last, or shuffled right back to last. It'll run at Riccarton on Saturday, and we'll get more from Aidan around this horse. I know he liked it at its fresh-up run. Should have won here. Should have won this race. Going really well. Love a wet track. Riccarton Saturday.
He's a past tracker of mine too, which is, I think I agree, you know, definitely a chance. I'm going to take you back to Te Rapa on the weekend. We saw a very good win here from Lux Libertas, but the horse I want to highlight here is Kiwi Skyhawk, who runs the quickest last 800 of the race, rounds it off with the quickest 200. This is some sort of debut from a horse who looks to be very promising. Who knows, have we just unearthed a Derby-type horse here? Really like what we saw from Kiwi Skyhawk there on debut.
And I'm going to take you back to Remove All Doubt. So now this is her last time at Hittrick Raceway. Just further back in the running is actually where she checks off heels, and she loses around 3 lengths, so loses a bit of ground, comes back at them, gets run down just late on the line, but I think she lost all her momentum really halfway through that run. So follow her. She's actually on Friday and she comes up with an inside draw. And as we have a look at a summary, Box Moss for Leith, Bevins with Harmonious, Kiwi Skyhawk for Aiden, and Remove All Doubt for me. Note them down and chuck them in your black book. It is Kiri Kiri Cup Day up at Ruakaka on Saturday. So Leith, we usually get quite a nice track up there. What are we getting this weekend?
Yeah, they've had a lot of rain up there, Pip. They've had 117 mils in the last 7 days. So even though it's free draining up there, it's probably going to play a soft 7. A little bit of rain on Friday. There's probably another 20 mils between now and Saturday. So look, it does drain out pretty good, and it's going to be the best winter surface you get in the country. So look, I think if it gets a soft 6, soft 7.
There you go, and as you can see, our market race number 7 here, where Crochetty heads the betting in the Alibaba's Flying Carpets Kiri Kiri Cup. Then we've got Master Faye at $3.50 and getting out to Beep Beep at $11. So 2 super horses heading the betting at the top of the book as we go back to Crochetty. Aiden, what did you make of him here at the trials?
Yep, just a beautiful hit out from a lovely horse. You could see him getting a little bit stirred up in the parade. I was actually there for these trials, and just speaking to Danny Walker afterwards, he said that's the type of horse he is on race day. He gets back to Ruakaka where he's won 2 from 2. He's just a star. He's a star. He's got a big weight to carry, 60 kilograms after the claim, but yeah, I don't think that's going to worry him.
Yeah, really interesting field, isn't it, Aiden? Look, Rossetti's got the top weight. He got the 2 kilos off Tristan Moodley. $1.60, a little bit short for mine, though.
Me too, because I think whatever he does on Saturday, as long as he's running home, they'll be happy because spring's close, lads. Spring is close when you see these sort of horses hitting the racetracks. He's got the draw to sort of do his normal thing and jump and sit there, but look, Master Faye, down to 52 kilos, has got a massive pull on the weights, and we do remember what this horse is capable of. Now, he's obviously had a few issues, but this run at Ellerslie when winning was outstanding. And he is very, very quick. He's also got a really good fresh record. He can probably come across and sit right next to them. Illicit Dreams might be the one that puts extra speed into this. But Crochetti's a sensational horse. I'm just not sure it's his day Saturday, Leaf, for mine.
I was lucky enough to ride Master Faye in his first trial at Avondale, and he won by 8 lengths. He's a super smart horse. Obviously, we all know that he's had his injuries, but look, Chad Ormsey's done an awesome job with the horse. And look, he's got 52 kilos to Crochetti's 60, so he's getting 8 kilos off him, like as a massive pull on the weights.
It is 8 kilograms, but under a true handicap, he'd be getting 10.5. So Crochetty potentially in maybe 2.5 kilograms better in this than what he should be. Both of them using 2 kilogram claimers. Obviously, he is a star. You know, the last time we saw him was in a Group 1 Newmarket, and prior to that, he'd been doing everything right. He won in Hong Kong. He's obviously had soundness issues, but he's with Chad Ormsey, who's just such a great horseman. He looks after those sort of things. So yeah, real respect around Master Faye. But with Crochetty having the run under the belt at the trials and the course form, I think that might just sway me there. Let's have a look at Pippi. Not a bad effort. Running second, head put together 3 wins in the previous few and chases home a pretty good one.
It's really impressive, but Pippi was held up a little bit just before that as well. Definitely wouldn't have beaten Molt time, but may have run sort of that length and a half closer. She's got a really good record on the course, won 4 from 10 starts there, so home track, Chris Gibbs. If there is going to be a blowout chance, I've got Pippi there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, going really nicely this preparation, generally always at home, and it is a bit of a horses for courses track, so there's a lot of respect here, but you've got Crochetty and Master Faye here, and Master Faye getting with 52 kilos against Pippi with 54. I don't think that makes a lot of sense to me. So, look, I hope Crochetty wins. I think he's the best horse in the race. I just think weight scales might just play out here, and with 52 playing the 60, I'll go with Master Faye. And I think the major factor is price-wise around there. I think Crochetty's a little bit too short, albeit he is an outstanding galloper.
Yeah, look, obviously we all know Crochetty and Master Faye, they've got bigger fish to fry than this week, and look, I wouldn't be surprised if either of them won, but I'm going to go the little bit of value. The home track horse, it's a bit, 54 kilos, must have Zazumi, Pippi. you're getting 17s and $2.90. So just have a little bit of each way there, I reckon.
Well, I guess our job is to pick the winner, so I'm just gonna tip Crocetti. He is a winner. He's won 7 from 8. It took Bonnie Lass to beat him with a front-running win in the BCD Group Sprint. The only defeat, and that was a closing margin defeat as well from Crocetti. He's a star. I think he'll continue to win.
Yeah, and don't forget to check out those future markets too off the back of the likes of Crocetti or Master Fay do win. They're certainly going to shorten in. As we move on to our next race that we want to highlight, and this is Alibaba's Flying Carpets Stretch and Trim. Enchanted Owl heads the betting at $3.40, Bosch at $4, Fly My Way at $4.60, and Chevron at $5.50. Speaking of Fly My Way, Leith, there could be an omen here in the Flying Carpets, and he was very good at Ruakaka last time.
He was a very good pip, well ridden as well. The start before was caught, very wide, and Mark Brosnan's comments, he was going to go out for a surf, so he's that far out on the track. But look, he doesn't have to improve much. He's got a liking to the track. Look, Jasmine stays with him this week. He's got 54.5, meets pretty much the same field. And look, I liked him late. He was really strong to the line as well.
It was a good performance. I thought it was an outstanding ride, actually, that got their horse home. I thought Bosch was really, really stiff in this particular race. He sort of was in the trail and then he got shuffled back to nowhere, and he really hit the line strongly. There's only half a kilo difference between them. He's drawn a little bit better in the run than he was previously. Bosch, it should be a pretty good battle. I found this a pretty tough sort of race, Aidan.
Yeah, absolutely. Jessa Brosnan team flying, and Fly My Way's going really well. Bosch was a good run, and there is only half a kilogram. But the horse in third actually comes in 4 kilograms better than the pair of them after only going down 3 3/4. This is a horse who loves Ruakaka. 3 runs back, and now should be just prime for this. Gets the inside draw with Tristan Moodley on. I thought there's a lot of boxes ticked with Chevron here. So in the end, that was where I was heading towards. Let's have a look at Enchanted Owl and have a look at this last start, third at Tarapa. Handy enough effort. Melfi Rose, whose best efforts have come at Ruakaka, wasn't too bad after just getting a little bit held up at that point. Leith, how did you rate this form?
Yeah, I think it's really good. Obviously, Rahan Gorham sticks as well, 4 kilos off the back. Look, it's a pretty strong field, like Diamond Jack and Hall of Beat. I think they're pretty promising sort of stayers as well, especially in the winter. Probably take a little bit of improvement out of the race. I'm a little bit sort of surprised that she's favourite though in the race. I thought, Chevron or Fly My Way just got that liking for the Ruakaka track.
I watched that replay. The ride won the race, didn't it, really? Diamond Jack probably should have got up and well supported by punters at home, and Hula Beat, I think they wanted handier, maybe not leader, got through with probably the plan C for the young man who rode that horse really, really nicely. So I think the form's good. And Enchanted Owl, I think once she hits a bit of form, she'll hold it, and I thought that was a really good effort. Her record at Ruakaka, a couple of placings from 4 will make it interesting for me. I think Bosch was the unlucky runner in that replay you saw at Ruakaka and behind Fly My Way. I think with a little bit of luck, it might just be right on speed. And if they're neck and neck at the top of the straight, I'm going to go with Bosch as the winner.
Yeah, I'm going to go Fly My Way. Like you'd think he's a home track horse. He's had 10 starts there for 3 wins and 4 placings. So, look, I think he's well weighted, 54.5, and I think he's got a lot of improvement off that last win as well.
Yeah, but not as well weighted as Chevron. Geez, we're all going for the same race for our selections and all picking different horses. I thought Chevron was coming into this beautifully at the weights for Tristan Moodley, so on top for me.
Well, good thing that it is a bonus back race. Of course, the first 4 races from Ruakaka as well as Flemington and Rose Hill are bonus back opportunities. So you don't find that winner, but your second, third or fourth, you'll have bonus cash coming your way. And all the action, of course, Trackside 1 Saturday. Time for best bets. We were a little bit in and out, myself included last week. Not you though, Leith. You're on fire, so find us another one.
Yeah, Dusty Road was pretty easy finding Pip. Look, I can take you to Sunday's meeting at Harawa. He's elusive. Look, this horse ran first up in a 2-year-old race at Castletown Stakes, and Kevin Martin, he never does that. So natural improvement, had a quiet trial during the week. He won that easy. I think he's one to watch for sure.
Going in the same race, so I think we would need to take the fixed odds Quinella around a couple of horses. I agree around He's Lucid. I'm surprised he's here. I thought he'd be absolutely gone off these shores. Bell's Fate, I think CL took too much speed off this horse at its debut and it rushed home late. Bell's Fate, He's Lucid, fixed odds Quinella. rip into it.
I'm going to stick with the CD horses, but one for Riccarton. Horse who comes out of the listed rider stakes last weekend, Tarvos for Kevin Myers. Second up into what is a 3-year-old race that doesn't have a lot of depth. I thought Tarvos was beautifully placed here, and I'm happy to make him my best of the weekend.
We're back racing at Addington too now for the Greyhounds, and I'm going to go for Mitchum Tim in race number 10 for Ashley Bradshaw. He drops back in distance, back in grade, and he should be going home a winner on Friday night. So here's a summary of what we're liking. I'll start us off with Mitchum Tim. The Wales also heading to Addington for the harness. Yosmite his best in race number 4. Tarvos for Aiden, Bell's Fate for Bevan with. He's lucid in the same race to take that fixed odds Quinella. And that completes the form for another week. Good luck to everyone with connections in. Hopefully you start off the new season with a winner, and we'll catch you back next week.